Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Jessica Sildorf, and I'm joined by Erin Franey. We are both program coordinators for eFresh.org at Leah's Pantry, and we're excited to share the updates to the mini course that we've been working on over the past 6 months or so. So we wanted to just briefly say hello. We're going to turn off our cameras and then get started. All right. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with everything that we do at Leah's Pantry, I wanted to quickly give some background on our organization. Leah's Pantry has always been committed to finding the best ways to work with California's low-income populations. Initially, we developed Food Smart's curriculum to bring groups of people together in order to share experiences, increase knowledge, and enjoy simple, healthy food. Over time, we added the Food Smarts training program to help partner organizations build capacity to run this type of programming themselves. Working with San Francisco Human Services Agency to build eatfresh.org with SNAP-Ed funding in 2013 has been transformative for our team. We realized that online nutrition education interventions must be a component of an effective statewide nutrition education strategy. Research done by the California Department of Public Health MEOP branch has demonstrated that the effectiveness of obesity prevention programming is correlated to the number of interventions conducted in a given area. The more exposure participants have to nutrition education messages, the more likely they are to make positive changes to their behaviors. While county SNAP-Ed programs work hard to provide opportunities for residents to experience SNAP-Ed programming at many different locations, an online strategy is essential to people without the time or interest in coming to a nutrition class or health fair, or to provide an extension and support after the programming is finished. Moving from the eatfresh.org website to the mini course has reinforced this idea that SNAP-Ed and other chronic health prevention programs must be active in the online environment. So today, we are going to cover updates to the eatfresh.org mini course, including account creation and course flow, steps for implementing the mini course, how to track and collect your clients' data for reporting purposes, and the benefits to your program. So we've included the Getting Started guide and an editable promotion flyer in the Files window up at the top right-hand corner. So make sure that you download them since we'll be referring to these later on in the webinar. And before we dive in, we'd like to start with a quick poll to make sure we're covering things that are relevant to those of you on the webinar today. So please take a moment to answer this question on the screen. And the question is, are you SNAP-Ed funded? And are you interested in entering data into the ATF, or the activity tracking form? And that data that we're referring to is mini course data about your participants who take the course. All right, we've got about half of the people on who have answered. Anybody else want to answer? Okay, well, thank you to everyone who answered. All right, so let's begin with the backstory of the mini course. The eFresh.org mini course grew out of our work building online resources for the CalFresh or food stamp population. The first of which was what you see on the screen here, eatfresh.org, launched at the end of 2013. Thank you to those of you who have helped us promote the website to people all across California. We've reached over 106,000 individuals via eatfresh.org in 2.5 years. If you aren't familiar with fresh.org, We suggest that you watch our short demo video, which we are going to paste in the chat box. Thank you, Erin. I also want to quickly mention that we're releasing bug fixes to eatfresh.org next week. So features like texting recipes or ingredient lists to your phone from a recipe page will be working again. Thank you to those of you who notify us about features on the website that have broken. And if you ever notice something that isn't working properly, please send us an email so we can alert our engineers. The eatfresh.org mini course is an approved SNAP-Ed online nutrition class designed for low-income populations and the organizations that serve them. Our goal for the mini course to be a tool for all types of organizations looking to support their clients' health and increase digital literacy. Regardless of whether nutrition education is central to your organization's work, we believe the mini course can assist in promoting health. For federally funded agencies, you may have already noticed that the mini course has been included in the latest integrated curriculum list by the California State implementing agencies. The mini course leverages the content of eatfresh.org by covering a wide variety of nutrition and food resource management topics. And it takes advantage of best practices in e-learning to deliver fun and engaging nutrition lessons. It was created for English and Spanish-speaking adult audiences with beginner computer skills. We have chosen a narrative instructional strategy for most of the topics with characters who are realistic and approachable for viewers. In many ways, these characters are the champion moms and dads of this population, modeling healthy behaviors and attitudes while also voicing common barriers and difficulties. While the short duration of the course makes it impossible to evaluate behavior change, it is designed to encourage behavior change among participants by increasing knowledge and influencing attitudes. It also serves as an introduction to using eatfresh.org as a resource for recipes and food prep information, chronic disease prevention messaging, and local information that they can reference consistently throughout daily life. Now I'll pass it over to Erin to review all of the updates to the mini course account creation, course flow, and pre and post course data collection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here today. So I will be walking you through the mini course from creating a user account to options for collecting participant data. There are two ways to access the mini course. The first is from the eatfresh.org homepage. So you'll notice on the homepage, if you go kind of in the middle of it, there's a button that reads Take the Free eatfresh.org mini course. And I'm going to let Jessica load in what that looks like so you can all see.
Hang on just a second. I'm having a little trouble with screen share here.
Okay, we are loading the screen share. So the second way to access the mini course is you can go directly to it by typing in lms.eatfresh.org into your browser. So those are the two ways to get to the mini course.
Okay, right. So here on the homepage here, there's a button you can click, or if you type it into the browser, lms.eatfresh.org, this is where you land. Sorry about that delay, Erin.
Totally fine. The language switcher on the mini course is in the upper right-hand corner. We still have sentences on this homepage that need translation, and we're having a bug issue with it, but we're getting it fixed. Everything else in the Spanish version is up to date. I just went through the mini course with a group of English and Spanish speakers last night, and it worked really well, so I'm very excited about that. To create a new account, Begin by clicking the orange button that reads Create New Account. First, we'll choose our username and password. And then enter my email address, name, and location information. We recommend having participants write down their login credentials on an eatfresh.org recipe card, write it in a note app on their phone, or model it username and passwords they have for other online accounts. While this last suggestion isn't a recommended strategy for accounts storing sensitive personal data like banking websites, it can be okay for our mini course site. Also, note that login credentials created by saving recipes on eatfresh.org will not work for the mini course. While the design of the two sites looks similar, they are two completely different websites, which means users need to create a separate account for the mini course. Next, you'll see a space for a referral code. If your organization wants to track your cohort's progress through the mini course, this is where they will need to enter your organization's unique referral code. The mini course is an approved SNAP-Ed direct education intervention. So if your clients register with your referral code, we will be able to send you data that you can enter into the ATF or whatever systems your agency uses as a direct education intervention. The referral code also determines which version of the mini course your clients will take. Either our new default version with only a feedback survey, which is what you see here, or the full version with pre and post course questionnaires that track knowledge, attitude, and readiness for change. As some of you may know, the USDA has recently released new evaluation guidance. We expect to have new mini course evaluation tools ready for fiscal year 2017. If you'd like more information about this process or would like to be part of an evaluation testing group, please let us know. We will be doing testing of the new evaluation tool in August and September. For those of you who would like to track your clients' data, you will need to get a unique referral code from us, and we will be in touch after the webinar to help you create them. As a reminder, it is completely up to the individual to enter this referral code when they are creating a new account. If they don't enter the code, they will not be included in the data associated with your referral code. The rest of the questions on the account creation page collect demographic information, Ed data card. Once all of the questions have been answered, click Create My New Account, and the dashboard will load on your screen. Oh, only lowercase letters allowed, Jessica. Perfect. Okay, so now we want to check in with everyone with a poll question. Based on what we just showed you, how comfortable do you feel walking a group through creating an account on the mini course?
All right, thank you for those responses.
Okay, good. Before we continue, are there any questions about the account creation process? Type in the chat box or raise your hand and we can give you mic access. Okay, everyone feels pretty good. If you haven't had a chance to create an account kind of in this version, we'll tell you how you can do that later, just to practice. Okay, now let's take a look at the new mini course layout and flow. We have consolidated the original 3 mini courses that gradually unlocked new topics as users progressed into a single mini course that allows users to complete topics in any order. Adult learning research indicates that engagement is often higher when users have the ability to choose the topics they're most interested in taking, rather than being required to take classes in a predefined order. That being said, people also like the idea of making progress. So you'll notice that the mini course topics are now grouped into 3 themes: nutrition basics, creating wholesome meals, and planning and shopping. Users can download certificates of completion when they finish all topics in a group. Some of our partners focus on specific themes like food resource management in their programs and may find these groupings helpful to presenting information to their clients. Oh no, Nayeli, you're having audio issues? One thought would maybe be to try calling in. Sometimes on a phone versus an internet connection, it can be better. So the new organization of topics are as follows. Under nutrition basics, we have do you eat the rainbow? Finding low sodium foods using the nutrition label. How much sugar is in your favorite drink? Can you identify these whole grains? And breastfeeding means mom and baby eating right. Under creating wholesome meals, there's learn to make delicious and easy turkey chili, which is a My Plate lesson. Eating a healthy breakfast is easier than you think. Get smart about your health goals, which is about setting SMART goals. What's your portion IQ? And making soup is easy, which is about eating the rainbow. And lastly, under planning and shopping, there's Outsmart the Grocery Store, Easy Meal Makeovers, which covers healthy swaps, Easy Meatless Meals using eatfresh.org, Keeping Food Fresh for Longer with eatfresh.org, and Planning Healthy Holidays with eatfresh.org. Each topic takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete, depending on the user. The beauty of this course is that it's self-paced and you're able to jump back to previous slides or watch it as many times as you'd like. There are 3 total certificates of completion that can be earned, which can be used for incentives within your program. For example, you may be able to offer your clients a reusable grocery bag when they receive their first certificate, or they could be entered into a raffle for a grocery gift card each time they receive a certificate of completion. At the bottom of the course overview page, you'll see an optional feedback survey where individuals can give their opinion of the course. So that's what that looks like. So just a few questions about how they felt about the course. And if you are leading a group in the mini course, I highly encourage you to have folks do this. Just it's helpful for us to be getting feedback. And then also down at the bottom there, good, you'll see a discussion forum. So that's where people write in comments and be more interactive with each other. And then also downloadable files that were referenced in the course topics. This default version of the course is the quickest way to get someone started in the mini course. However, if you also want to track your clients' change in knowledge, attitudes, and readiness for change, you can request that your referral code activate a full version of the mini course, which includes our original pre and post course questionnaires. And those you may have seen yourself when you created an account. So we have made the questionnaires optional due to feedback from partners that the questionnaires were too long and difficult, which they believed would be a barrier to using the mini course. We have included a PDF of the questionnaires in the downloadable files window so you can preview the questions to better inform your decision. So again, when we are in touch with you, if you're interested, for example, in creating a referral code, we'll also check in if you'd like to have that referral code show you the mini course as it is now without the questionnaires, or whether you'd like to also have your participants go through the questionnaires. If you started the mini course before June 1st, you can request to be manually added to the new version. We didn't want current users to lose their progress through the old version of the course. So again, email us if you are interested in basically having us unenroll you in the mini course when you created an account, then you can create a new one and see the mini course as it is now. Okay, so we're going to do one more poll. Based on what you've seen so far, would you be interested in having your clients enroll in the full version of the mini course with the pre and post course questionnaires? Rose, we will be in touch with you about referral codes. So it'll be something that you can tell us what you'd like. We have kind of a naming convention that we're trying to use. That's the acronym of your organization and then the city or county that you're in. But we'll decide together so that we know on our end when we're looking through at the end of the month who's been taking the mini course so that we can send that data back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you for everyone who responded to that questionnaire or that poll. Speaking of questionnaires. All right. So now let's talk about the steps we recommend that you take to implement the mini course to your program. So first of all, we recommend designating a staff member at your organization to coordinate outreach and promotion of the mini course. So while the mini course can save you time and money on nutrition education, you will still need a dedicated staff member to do outreach and follow up with participants. We'll be sending the video recording of this webinar once we're done, so please have this designated staff member watch the webinar. And we mentioned using certificates of completion to earn incentives. So if you offer incentives to your clients, your staff person will also need to follow through on managing and issuing these incentives. So the next step would be to request custom recipe cards and posters from myself or Erin that include your unique referral code that, again, we will designate or create for you. You can also download our flyer template, edit it to include your unique referral code, and print copies to distribute as you see fit. So this Word document file is included in the Files window. So again, up at the top right-hand corner there, you should see the second file is that Word doc. You can also hang posters and flyers in waiting rooms, lobbies, and hallways, community rooms, or other public spaces. All right, next you'll want to promote the mini course with your clients at classes, health fairs, through emails, at trainings, or any other method that works for your population. You know the best way to reach them. So offer incentives to motivate clients to complete the mini course. If you have a computer lab, take advantage and host a specific time for clients to begin the mini course with you. Offer technical assistance to those who may not be as comfortable with using a desktop computer, and facilitate a discussion afterwards about lessons learned in the mini course. You can also demo the mini course on a smartphone to a small group of people wherever you have internet access. If you train community members or partners in health promotion, try encouraging them to take the mini prior to the training as an introduction to nutrition topics. Last, we also encourage you to reach out to partners you work with who may run job training or life skills programs or computer literacy classes for adults and seniors. These would be ideal locations to share the mini course and have that site incorporate it as part of their curriculum. I want to quickly answer Marlon's question here. Do you have Spanish versions of the flyer or other print materials? Yes, absolutely. We have English and Spanish available. The website eatfresh.org is also available in Chinese. However, we don't have the mini course in Chinese, but we do have the promotional materials in English and Spanish. Okay, the next step would be, once you have your participants using the mini course, request data from Leah's Pantry staff. So either Erin or I can send you reports monthly, quarterly, or at whatever interval works best for you. Data card information and process evaluation data, which is coming from the feedback survey, will be available for both the default and the full versions of the mini course. but only the full version will collect data about knowledge, attitude, and readiness for change. And then continue promotion and outreach. So I also want to mention that if you have specific program requirements and would like to customize the mini course for your clients, we have the capability to implement a mini course that meets your needs. For example, if you have downloadable files that align specifically with your program that you would like to include within the mini course, we could add those for you. So again, being in touch with us and we can work to customize it to your needs.
Okay, I'm going to go over how you can track your clients and enter data into the ATF for those of you that are federally funded. One of the exciting things about the mini course is our ability to capture both demographic information as well as outcome information for our users. This information is useful both for tracking metrics required by funders, but also in terms of developing and improving the online course. For example, by allowing users to determine the order of completion, we'll be able to see how we did naming the modules. We will be able to see which topics are most popular for our users and which topics are saved for last or never completed. The use of referral codes will permit us to share data with programs who refer clients to this course. These codes can help us identify whether this course is being used as a standalone intervention or as an extender to another intervention. We'll also be able to compare data between those two types of referrals, helping us determine the best place to incorporate the mini course for maximum impact. Since this process is a new process for us, we will rely on your feedback. So please share feedback with us. Online direct education with these capabilities in the SnapEd world is very new, and we look forward to breaking ground with you with this type of program. We know the topic of online nutrition education is interesting to the national audience, and we are so excited to share our initial results via a poster at the Society of Nutrition, Education, and Behavior Conference in San Diego this summer, as well as APHA in Denver, where we were selected to deliver 2 oral presentations on the design for the course. So again, kind of with that, I also want to say thank you in advance for your patience as we work out kinks and again, get your feedback and are able to incorporate it. This is new and we are so excited to work with you as we go through this process. From our conversations with partners over the last few months, we know that some agencies would like to have clients who complete this course be counted towards their integrated work plan totals and enter them into the ATF or other data gathering system. For the purpose of SnapEd direct education, a user must complete 5 topics, so any of the 5 topics, in order to be counted as a direct education participant. Some partners are just looking for information on how many referrals to their programs have made, how many referrals their programs have made to the mini course. Other partners may want to use data internally or for other funders. And just one note about that. So when we showed you the mini course and there's those 3 options for certificates of completion. So if a participant wants to get a certificate, they have to take all those 5 topics within a subject. But for the purpose of entering data into the ATF, they can take any 5 topics and that will count. So for example, last night when I ran a mini course class with this group of English and Spanish speakers, I told them pick any 5 videos that interest you and watch them. And that's great. And so I liked being able to give them that flexibility. And some people chose to do all 5 within one section and get that certificate of completion. But some people felt like the 5 that interested them were coming from a variety of different subjects. So kind of either way is an option, but for the ATF, it just needs to be at minimum 5 videos. And then a note for those of you who are SnapEd funded and interested in collecting data, you will likely need to add a site to your site list within the ATF so you can input the mini course as a direct education intervention. The site name we have chosen with CDPH is onlineeatfresh.org mini course, multiple locations. Evan Talmadge has added this site to our site list and is aware that other agencies may request this site as well. Over the next year, We look forward to finding accurate and efficient ways to share the data in ways that are of best use to you. For this initial, we will work with your agency individual to determine the format and frequency of the data, and over time, we expect this process to become more standardized. One last poll question. Is eatfresh.org or the eatfresh.org mini course included in your county's 3-year integrated work plan?
All right, thank you for everyone who replied to the poll. All right, and just to wrap up, I want to review some of the benefits of implementing the mini course into your program. So first, it will enhance your existing interventions. We mentioned earlier that it can extend the messages into their homes, into daily life, beyond the classroom or beyond the event where where you are interacting with them. It increases the reach of your direct education interventions. So again, this can be offered as another option to an in-person class. It reduces participant burden. So it certainly people who have transportation issues or limited time, this reduces the burden on them where they are able to take the course wherever they are able to and at whatever time they would like. It ensures message consistency. So sometimes while we do our best to train our educators, messages aren't always delivered in exactly the same way every single time, but through the minute can maintain that consistency. It also provides training for nutrition educators. So as we mentioned before, this can be used as a precursor, excuse me, to an in-person training to get everyone on the same page, and also to reduce the amount of time you have to spend in that in-person training on nutrition, just basic nutrition, and reviewing those topics. And again, it can be used as an incentive. So this can help motivate your participants to take this class and to be interested in learning more about nutrition and cooking. Okay, so before we begin our Q&A, I'm curious to know, for those of you who have taken the mini course already, or at least started it, what was your initial impression? And what did you like or not like about it? So go ahead and type into the chat box or raise your hand and we can give you the mic so you can tell us about your experience. I see if 3 people typing. All right, so Sarah says fun and interactive. Great, that's our goal. Marlon says, I was only able to do a few lessons, but I was very impressed with the quality of the graphics and information. It was fun and easy. Great. Elaine, I took the mini course. It was easy to follow and easy to enroll. Awesome. These are all great comments. We're glad that we are achieving our goals, at least among this group. Any constructive criticism? Anything that you struggled with or would like to see done differently or added? We're open to hearing that feedback. Okay, well, I don't see anyone typing, so if you think of something as we go through our Q&A, don't hesitate to type that in. So if anybody has questions about what we've reviewed here today, again, please type it into the chat box or raise your hand so we can give you mic access. All right, first question, which age groups have you reached the most via the mini course? Any feedback from teens? Great question. So as we mentioned earlier, the mini course has been designed for adults. So we have tested it with adults, I'd say some 20s, but mostly people between the ages of 30 and mid to late 60s, so seniors and adults. We did a focus group with teens through PHI earlier, actually at the end of last year, and found that this method of delivering information is not as exciting or engaging to them. While they did enjoy parts of the mini course and in general gave positive feedback, we learned from that focus group that videos are really what they want to see and the best way to engage them in this type of information. So we've begun our YouTube eatfresh.org channel and are working with groups of youth now to develop those videos and make something that's more relevant to teens. Okay, next question. What if a client says they do not have an email address to register with? That's a great question. And actually, we did encounter this in some of our focus groups with the initial version of the course. Our best answer is to help them create one on the spot. So it takes only a couple minutes to create a Gmail account or Yahoo or any of the other email providers. So I would suggest just creating one for the purposes of enrolling in the course.
And I would say a back option that's maybe not as recommended, or Jessica, I'd be interested to hear what you say. I have on occasion had people just use my email address. Since there's the original version of the mini course, you actually had to get into your email account to be able to finalize your account creation. But now that you don't, that would also be kind of a backup option if someone, for whatever reason, doesn't want to create an email account, or maybe they're pressed for time. And so doing that, or if you're kind of, as an educator, have a lot of other things to kind of address within a group taking the mini course and don't have the time to spend with that one individual to get them set up with an email account. So that's maybe something else to think about. I would also say that if you are hosting a group to take the mini course, if you can communicate with them in advance and say one thing you'll need when taking the course is an email account, that will help make sure that maybe if someone doesn't have one, that they can go ahead and do that prior, or at least you'll be kind of aware going into it who already has that and who doesn't.
Yeah, so I actually would recommend using your own personal email or someone else's email address as just worst case scenario. One of the reasons why we collect that email address is because we want to be able to communicate with our users. So if at a certain time we've talked about sending out notifications or email reminders to bring them back into the course if we see that there's been a long time that's lapsed where they haven't interacted with the course, and send some, gentle nudges through email to get them back on. And also, the website will prevent you from creating more than one account per email address.
Okay.
So, for example, when we did the demo today on the webinar, I had to go in and delete Erin's existing account so that we could use her email address again for the purposes of the demo. But had I tried to do that, even if I put a different username in there, it would have given me an error. So just know that each email address can only be used once.
And then Elaine, your question about how often will agencies receive the participant feedback? that's something that we will work with you on. We are imagining giving feedback or sending data either once a month or once a quarter. And that can depend on how often you want to receive it and also how many people you have taking the mini course. So we will kind of work with people. And one of our goals in the months ahead is to develop a really tight process for being able at the end of every month or end of every quarter to look at all of our participants and then divide up by referral code what information needs to go where and then get it sent to you in a timely manner. So that's something that we are in the process of figuring out. Oh, and Maria, good. Yeah, good point. That's true. If the when you are logged out of the mini course and want to get back in, the two pieces of information that you'll give are the username and password that you created. So those are the two things that people need to remember. And that's one of the reasons why we encourage people to use, let's say, a username that they use on other sites so that they're not struggling to remember what they chose. When they're getting back into the mini course.
Right, and I'm glad you said that, Erin. I want to make sure everyone understands that rather than entering an email address like we do for many different websites, it's the username that you need to enter in and the password. So the email address will only be entered upon account creation, but again, we may use that for communicating with the users or a specific cohort. Are there any other questions or anyone on the phone who has a question? Okay, well, I don't see anyone typing. Oh, wait, Teresa. How do I create a referral code? So we create the referral code for you. So if anyone is interested in getting a referral code, contact us. We will be in contact with you. However, if you're really eager to get going, shoot us an email and we can assign a referral code to you that you can then begin to use with your clients.
And there's flexibility on referral codes. So we have a naming convention that we're trying to use, but certainly if you feel strongly about something, we are willing to be flexible with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the next steps are Jessica is going to post this webinar to YouTube. So please share it with any of your educators who are going to be doing outreach about the mini course. We hope that this is a good step-by-step introduction for those kind of how to create an account and use it. And then we will also be in touch with individual emails to everyone so that if you want to create a referral code and talk about reporting and kind of things of that nature, we will be in touch about that.
And Judy, your question about reviewing the material from today. So as Erin just mentioned, I will be posting this recording on YouTube and sending an email once that's up on YouTube with the link to the video. I will also be sending the files that we referenced in this webinar. The slides will be posted on our website, so you could always download them from there as well. We will be sending out all this information so you can easily share it and easily review it later on. Is there a plan to create a mobile app for eatfresh.org? That's a great question. No, we intentionally did not create a mobile app. However, eatfresh.org is mobile friendly. So we built it mobile first, meaning if you load eatfresh.org in your browser on your phone, it will adjust to the dimensions of your phone. Same goes for a tablet like an iPad. So rather than having people download an app and requiring them to update the app every time we release something new, having a website allows much more flexibility for updates and just basically makes it easier for a lot of our users to access the site. And there's actually a way that you can add a shortcut onto your phone so it looks like an app button. And we have a guide for that in our toolkit. So yes, Erin, thank you for posting that link. If you go to the toolkit page, you'll see there's a file in there that has a step-by-step guide on how to add a shortcut on either an iPhone or an Android phone. Okay, are there any other questions before we all sign off? All right, well, it looks like we've answered the majority of questions. I put our contact information up on the screen there, so if any of you have further questions, please reach out to Erin or myself. And as I said, I will be sending out an email later today with the link to the recording and other files so you can share and get this started.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.